Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 12th episode for The Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 8 finale / Fear the Walking Dead Season 4's premiere being shown in some select theaters. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 11. So Episode 12 is this Sunday night. Pretty excited for it, but it looks like this finale, Episode 16 for The Walking Dead, is going to be something special because AMC has actually decided to show the finale night in some select theaters. So you guys can check it out for yourselves. That would be April 15th, which is a Sunday night. And they're calling it Survival Sunday. So that is the Walking Dead Season 8 finale and the Season 4 premiere for Fear the Walking Dead. I'll put the link in the description to toynewseye.com for you guys, so you can go ahead and check this one out. This is really cool news. I want to say this is kind of the first time AMC has ever done anything like this for The Walking Dead, and smart, very, very smart. So this is Survival Sunday, The Walking Dead finale, Fear the Walking Dead premiere. April 15th only in select movie theaters. So, here's the details. Fans of the Walking Dead universe can now experience their favorite post-apocalyptic world on the big screen as Fathom Events and AMC announced today Survival Sunday, The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, a one-night fan event on April 15th, celebrating the highly anticipated series crossover. The Walking Dead Season 8 finale and Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 premiere will be screened commercial-free in more than 750 select movie theaters nationwide. The cinema event will also feature exclusive bonus content to be announced in the coming weeks. So it sounds like they're actually going to have some additional content for people that actually pay to go see it in theaters versus people who, just watch it with the network, with AMC channel. So that's really cool to hear. Now, what would they include that could be bonus content? Maybe an early viewing for something, I would think. It'd be pretty easy for them to throw in maybe some of the deleted scenes or maybe some preview sequences, stuff for Fear. Because, of course, even though you're seeing the premiere for Fear the Walking Dead, by the time it airs, they will have filmed at least the first half of Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4. So there might be kind of some extended previews or some additional stuff with looks at future episodes. So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool to hear that there's going to be some bonus additional stuff for people who do pay. But I mean, just how cool would that be to get to see The Walking Dead All Out War's finale in theaters and then the premiere for Fear the Walking Dead? It's kind of like Morgan at the movies, right? Tickets for Survival Sunday, The Walking Dead, and Fear the Walking Dead can be purchased beginning Friday, March 16th at fathomevents.com/events/Survival Sunday or participating theater boxes. So all that info, how you can buy it, that kind of stuff. Sunday, April 15th marks an epic and highly anticipated moment for these series as worlds collide when Morgan crosses from The Walking Dead and into the world, or the new world of Fear, said Teresa Bayer, SVP of Brand Activation for AMC. We are thrilled to be working with our terrific partners at Fathom to provide fans from across the country the opportunity to experience this crossover moment in such a special way, and among other members of one of television's most passionate fan communities. The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead have captivated audiences and kept them on the edge of their seats for many years, Fathom Events CEO Ray Nutt said. Self-proclaimed deadheads will have the unique opportunity to come together to experience these two compelling dramas, larger than life and commercial free, on the big screen for just one night this April. Produced by AMC, The Walking Dead, yada yada yada, Nielsen ratings, whatever. So there's a pretty cool poster as you've seen there in the thumbnail. Survival Sunday. You got Rick on the one side, you've got Morgan in the middle, as there's a rip down the center as he crosses from the green into the red of Fear. In select theaters, April 15th only. Wow, man, that's really cool, really cool. So big time heads up for anybody who lives in, I would say, a major city in the U.S. I'm not sure about here in Canada and Fathom and how that will work. I'll look it up and find out later whether or not that's something that they're going to be offering here, because I personally would like to go see it in the theaters. That would be really cool. The only thing is, I got to do my reviews and stuff with you guys afterwards, so it does kind of slow all that down. But I mean, really, that's a special kind of night, so that would be really cool to go see that in person in theaters. So heads up if any of you guys want to look and see if it's offered in the city you live in, where you live, whether or not it would make sense for you to go, as long as you don't have to drive like 2 hours or something. So yeah, really cool stuff, and really happy to hear that they're starting to kind of do this kind of stuff for The Walking Dead. I think it's about time, and it's the perfect time to do it. You have a double night premiere. It's a special kind of night for The Walking Dead. You have Morgan crossing from The Walking Dead into Fear, and also in addition to that, I mean, you have the final episode of Season 8, which has been super epic. You have, the final battle between Rick and Negan, the climax of the finale for All Out War, which has been confirmed will end this season. All Out War will not continue into Season 9. It will be resolved by that point. Scott Gable had said that during Talking Dead. So, we know that that's going to be it after this season for Walking Dead. The Negan Saviors versus Survivors story arc that's been going for over 2 years at that point will finally be ending, and that will be the final part to it. So that's really cool news, and I'm excited for any of you guys. If any of you guys are going to do that or going to check it out, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, pricing and stuff like that. Just let me know the details about if you're going to do it, and if you find that it's available in your area. So that's really cool stuff. Really happy to say AMC is doing that. It's about time. They probably should have done it sooner, but sooner, rather than later. And if it's not something, original that they're kind of doing as a movie, like a Walking Dead movie, this is the next best thing to just be able to show it. Because Game of Thrones has done that before too, and it's about time The Walking Dead has actually done it as well. And then we'll get into some of your guys' questions for today for The Walking Dead Q&As. The first one comes from Med1965, who says, "Hey Trev, I was wondering what has been the latest on Lauren Cohan's contract negotiations. Next month is usually when the filming for the new season starts. If AMC is playing hardball with her, what message does that send to the rest of the cast who are not A-listers? When it is time for their contracts to be renewed, will they start looking at other series first and negotiate with AMC second, knowing AMC will have or will take the hard line? You could end up with mostly part-timers on your cast. Given the size of the cast, it could work, but working around everybody's second projects could become problematic. I hope Lauren stays on because Maggie is important to the Whisperer story arc. The one thing that can kill a series is when the audience is not emotionally invested in the characters. That's why Maggie must live on the heels of Carl's death, which I still think was a big mistake by the show." So yeah, there are no new updates with the negotiations for Maggie and The Walking Dead. So far as I know, and so far as been publicly known, she has not re-signed yet. If she has, it's been private, and they have not told anybody at all, which I do not think would be the case. I think if she had re-signed, they probably would have publicly let people know, because it's good news, and you'd want people to know that, hey, Maggie's going to come back for Season 9, so don't worry, everything will be good with that. But, so fans, you don't have to worry. That hasn't been the case. So I would assume, based on it not being public information, that she has not re-signed yet with The Walking Dead. So it's really crazy stuff. It's really crazy news. It's something that we've been covering for, I want to say, like a month now. It's a hot topic for sure for Walking Dead, whether or not she is going to be there. And somebody asked Robert Kirkman recently, I saw an interview with him, and he was like very against commenting on it. He was like, no, I'm not going to comment at all. And I think what he did say, and I'm paraphrasing here, something along the lines of how important Maggie is, that kind of thing afterwards to the story. So we'll see. And I think he was mainly saying that he hopes it will work out and that she'll resign and whatever. But as far as I know, she hasn't. He didn't really want to, we should pretty much say he said no comment, was really what he said, pretty much, about that, because it's under negotiations. I think he did say as well, too, that more of it was made public than probably should have been, which is probably true, because if she is not to re-sign, then, you probably would not want the audience to know that, because then they go in watching Season 9 and be like, oh, all angry because, Maggie's not going to come back. or they're going to have to recast her or something. So it's a really tricky situation, and I don't have anything for you, Med, or any of you other guys, sorry. They haven't really announced anything, and you're right. Time goes pretty quickly. Time passes fast, and these negotiations being tied up, pretty soon they're going to start looking at this season. They better have a contingency in there. Like, what are we going to do if she doesn't re-sign? Are we going to recast? Make a decision. Are we going to recast? Or are we going to kill the character off screen or something? What are we going to do? Either way, it's probably going to suck if she doesn't, whatever they have to do. And I really hope that she does. But so far, it's looking like, she might not. Maybe a last-minute thing will come through, and they'll be like, okay, we'll give you the money you want, whatever. But they have to be tricky with that as well, too, because The Walking Dead is not always getting, as many millions of views as they used to. So, of course, that's going to affect budgets and affect other things as well, too. And, they can't overpay her too much, and then other people might want more, and you get into this kind of situation where then everybody's asking for more, and it's kind of tricky to do, and it cuts into their profits, and in worst case scenario, it could bring them down below where they need to be in order to keep the show going. Tyler Langley says, do you agree that The Walking Dead actually has a bright future? Between Gimple no longer show running and BS fans not watching as much, I think The Walking Dead is actually poised to become something even greater. So in the future. So I think The Walking Dead does have that potential to be a long-running series that could still be on in another 5 years. Will they get to that level? Will they get to that point where they've been on for that long? I hope so, man, because Walking Dead is my favorite show. I look forward to it all the time. I do think it has a somewhat bright future. It's just that the last 2 years, I want to say, since the second episode of Season 7, the future for The Walking Dead, the outlook for The Walking Dead has changed so drastically. It's been surprising even to me, as a person that's been, watching the series since the beginning, as many of you guys have, and doing all this with you guys. It's been very surprising to me that The Walking Dead's outlook in the future has changed as much as it actually has. Because when you look at it, going in from Season 6 and the premiere for Season 7, this was the hottest show on television. And, the ratings, 17 million for the premiere and stuff, that kind of setting the bar that high for that, now not every episode is going to get that, but to get even one episode to get that is like, passing a lot of major sporting events for the year that are, something that, everybody talks about, getting that kind of viewers it's freaking crazy. So, I do think that the future for The Walking Dead, continuing on as a series, that probably will be in the 5 million view range eventually, 4, 6, something like that. As long as they're okay with it being around that, then I think the series will continue, for a lot longer, and we will get into the teens of seasons. But a lot of it comes down to expectations, budgets. If the budgets are lower, that just means the show's probably going to go on longer. If they start having to overpay people or pay people, maybe not overpay, but pay people a lot, and the budgets are really high, and then the viewers drop too much, then you get into trouble where it's like, okay, they might have to look at it. But it's kind of crazy to even consider that they would have to cancel The Walking Dead. And I don't think they're going to want to. I think they're going to hold on, as long as they can with dear life to The Walking Dead and hope that it continues as long as it can. And I think it will. I think it's just been a shock to a lot of us that in the last couple of years, so much has changed with the show. The show's gone from the hottest show on TV in seasons probably 4, 5, 6, with its outlook, into the beginning of 7, to a show where everybody's like over it. They're like, I'm over it. I don't care. I don't want to watch it anymore. A lot of people doing that. So, yeah, it is what it is, but I think, like you're saying here, Tyler, that it does still have somewhat of a bright future as long as the expectations are under control. It may never be what it was in season 5 or 6. I hope it eventually gets to that again, popularity. I just don't think it will, especially if you kill Carl off and it really has no effect hardly at all on the rating. The ratings are like the same. That pretty much is telling you that almost no matter what you do, unless you kill Rick or the series ends, it's probably going to be, around like a 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 per episode type of deal, which is not bad in its own right. That's fine. It's so if they're okay with that, we should be fine. Mena says, "Hey Trev, do you think Fear is binge-worthy? I didn't really like season 1, so I haven't watched the subsequent seasons. I love Lenny James and the Morgan character. I'm sure AMC is hoping other folks like me may tune in for that storyline. I don't know if it's worth the time to catch up on the seasons. Peace and keep on recording, dude." So what I'll say for you, Mina, is if you don't want to watch it all the way through, start near the end of season 2. Go to like the third last episode of season 2. So that'd be episode 14. Start at 14, watch 14, 15, 16 from season 2. Watch all of season 3, and that will prep you for season 4. I mean, there's some stuff in there you're going to miss, but if you really don't want to go through the whole thing, that's what I would say is probably required viewing to get you caught up. Plus, season 3 is so damn good, and season 2's finale is awesome too. So, if you start there, I don't think you'll regret it. I think you'll watch and be like, wow, that was really good. If you like Walking Dead, then watch those episodes, and you're basically getting something that's comparable in quality to Walking Dead. So, and some people think even better. So, check out those episodes. That's what I would recommend for you, Mina. Start there if you have to and go through. I mean, ideally you watch them all, but it's up to you if you just want to, start at that season 2 type of finale time frame, and definitely watch all of season 3. You won't regret it, I don't think. It's amazing. Chaz_Jesse says, "Is it possible they made season 7 cheaper with bottle episodes, etc., to be able to make All Out War bigger? I wouldn't be surprised, as AMC is greedy as fuck." That's what he said. So that's true. Well, they are a little greedy, I want to say, or at least they have a reputation. I mean, I can't personally say they are, but they have a reputation in the in our culture, I want to say right now, for being kind of greedy with the lawsuits and the other stuff going on. Frank Darabont probably started that, to be honest with you, many years ago with the lawsuits and that. So is what it is. But yeah, they probably did make season 7 cheaper with the bottle episodes, and that's probably true. But they started doing some bigger stuff too. If you look at the season 7 finale, you look at season 8 with the explosions and the premiere and a whole ton of zombies and all the gunfire and all the shooting and everything else. They've done some kind of bigger stunts and some bigger stuff that they don't usually do in Walking Dead, which has been really cool to see. But you're right, it costs money. It is expensive for action. And I personally have appreciated it, really enjoyed it. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they throttled back on season 7 a little bit after the premiere. I'm sure the premiere was costly to do and everything, but after that, they probably did throttle back a little bit. They had to build new communities, right? So they had to get new locations and new communities and that, which, of course, is a little tricky to do in zombie apocalypse world. And, season 8 probably does cost more, I would think, than season 7. That's probably a safe bet, yeah. Nick Judd says, "Trev, obviously they're going to employ this strategy in the next few episodes. Who is your prediction to die by the contaminated weapons?" So that's a tricky one. I think we'll probably save that for a death predictions video, but I like Tobin for one of them. Maybe he'll be the one that'll get slashed in the back. They'll probably give the Nicholas comic book death to him for that. And then, a lot of your C characters, red shirts, maybe like, a lot of people like Tara to be killed off, which we'll have to see if that's true. I don't think she will be, but Tobin will be my pick for now. And then, Simon, I do think will die as part of the war here near the end. And the last one will be from Sam Jank, who says, "But Rick got cut by the zombie with a machete in its shoulder, but he didn't die." And so you're right, Sam. There's a lot of different times when there's been wounds from stuff that was in zombies or whatever. There's been times when characters have just been blood everywhere, in their mouth and everything. You would think, from Michonne to hacking away, dozens of zombies covered in blood. Season 5 with Heath, when she tells him about being covered in blood and that kind of thing. So it's happened to her probably a bunch of times now. And she never had that problem. So it's a little bit tricky. Is it a plot hole there? Maybe for your hardcore people to consider things like this. But if you don't like the idea, you could always say it doesn't work, and that when people get cut by it, really all it is just a really dirty weapon, and they're getting an infection as a result afterwards. So you could look at it that way as well too, and that it doesn't really work, and it's more smoke and mirrors for show, for motivating the saviors and scaring the survivors than anything else. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. Send me some more questions if you want to see another one tomorrow, and pretty excited for this, episode 12 and the finale for season 8 is going to be great. Yeah, if you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it, and you can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. I'll see you guys soon.